and I'm so delighted to have on stage Mariana Atilano, Head of Strategy and Data Analytics at Groupe Mutuel. Please, Mariana, join me. You will talk about the adoption of predictive analytics. You want perfect. Great. And I'm so glad to have you on stage. You are a strategic partner also of the Trust Valley since a long time, so thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. So, as Lenny mentioned, I will talk about the adoption of predictive analytics. I will not talk about the technology. I think we'll have a better view on that afterwards. But I'll talk about all the rest that needs to get done to adopt the technology and to make it work in the ecosystem. I'd like to start with an image in the same line as was Mr. Loretan presented. So basically, this is a quite complex ecosystem. It's a painting from El Bosco that you can see if you go to Madrid, to El Prado. It's the Garden of Earthly Delights. And what we have basically, it's on the right side, paradise, in the middle, the earth, and then hell. And to me, this reminds me a bit of the Swiss health ecosystem right now. We are a bit like this in silos, or even not silos, but smaller groups not really getting critical mass to do things. And for me right now, we're in a moment where we need to really start doing things to avoid going towards the left and try to get more towards the right. And so what does predictive analytics do and all that? So this is a quick reminder. I think we all know the challenges that we have. We heard about them all the time in the news. In the coming weeks, you will see the premiums increase again. So we have rising costs in the system that is also driving gaps in accessibility to healthcare, driven by regions, but also based on income disparities. We have a workforce shortage, and I think here in the room, you know better than me what does that mean. And we also have, as it was already mentioned, an extremely fragmented system. And the best example of slow innovation is the electronic health record in Switzerland. And then on the other side, we have predictive analytics, which is not the solution, but is a big part of the solution for some of the cases. And I've listed here just a few ones that touch the patient, the GPs, the hospitals, so chronic disease management, monitoring maybe, also hospital planning and efficiency. And we can go on mental health issues, management and prediction of diagnostics. And we have all this, and it's working on a certain basis, so why are we not using all this? Well, the technology is not the problem anymore. It's not the biggest problem that we have. The algorithms are there. Security technologies, privacy-enhancing technologies are almost there. It's all the rest, and I will go through that in a bit, but it's basically 4 groups of things that we need to do. First is secure the data foundation. It's there where we are having trouble getting the scalability that we need. It's working well for research, for example, but not in operations. That's the second point, to make it actionable, to actually use the outcome of the solutions that are being presented and tested in some of the places. The third is to build trust and legitimacy. And I come from the insurance world, so I know what it is to have a lack of trust. And align incentives, that was also mentioned. But how? Well, altogether, I think, is there any regulator or policymaker in the room? We always forget them. Very important piece, or they don't come maybe to the parties. So basically, what it means is that we need to work together. When I talk about securing the data foundation, is the data quality, getting labeled data, interoperability, that's the nightmare. We all have our systems very well secured, private, blah, blah, blah. We cannot share the data. It's a nightmare. And of course, privacy preserving. And here we're all in the loop. Regulators, solution the makers, providers, insurers, hospitals, everyone. Then, okay, we get the solutions, we can share the data, they work. We need to integrate them in the operational workflows. What do we want to have something in our phone if the GP is not using it, if the hospital is not using it, if the patient is not using it? We then need to measure results to prove that it works and to get the trust. And then that leads me to the other 2 points. Build trust and legitimacy, and here it's a bit broader than our focus today because it's not only trust in predictive analytics. We're talking about AI, it's trust in AI, and it's not only in healthcare, it's in general because it will be everywhere. And their education, and not our education, but education of everyone, not the people only involved in these types of topics, is key. Transparency, explainability, of course, and fairness, and regulatory frameworks where we can work in a faster speed than what we're doing right now. And finally, and that was already mentioned in the beginning, align incentives. Today, the Swiss healthcare system works by treatment. Basically, it's like that. Us insurers, we basically do the payment platform, if you want to say it like this. And we need to change that. We need to first start understanding that we need to share the investments to deploy the things. It's extremely costly, so one player cannot do it alone. The second thing is that, as it was mentioned, we need to move from a treatment reimbursement model where the more volume you get, the better it is for certain parts of the system, to a prevention approach. And that leads then to, of course, the coordination of care, which is what was shown in the beginning. That's my last slide. I speak very fast sometimes. But I want to leave you with that image that basically it means that the things that need to be done are clear. Now we just need to kind of stop talking and theorizing about it and sit on the table, the same table, with all the key players and start really pushing a bit the solutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mariana. Thank you for your last image. We will keep it in mind.